try going with the contractions instead of fighting them. Just breathe the way you were taught, okay?
Yeah, fine. Fine, if I remember.
This baby sure is anxious to get himself born, isn't he?
Well, certainly making one heck of an entrance.
Easy.
Yes, very dramatic. But listen, after this, everything's going to just be easy as pie for him.
You better believe it if I have anything to say about it.
I'm saying prayers for you, Mrs. Quartermain.
Thank you, Sue.
Is there anything I can do to help Dr. Weber?
Yes. Oh, I'd love you to stay on the phone if you would. Just keep trying to use it every few minutes and let us know as soon as it's clear, and that way we can try and reach Dr. Quartermain at the hospital.
Yes, ma'am. I'll do whatever I can.
Okay, thank you.
Stella, I think we could use some more towels. Can you find some more for us?
Right away.
In fact, I'll go with you. Leslie, can you spare me a minute?
Oh, sure, of course. Everything's under control here. Go right ahead.
Just yell if you need me.
We're fine. Don't worry.
Okay. Well, who'd have thunk it? I mean, last time you're going to go visiting, huh? We thought you were just coming over for tea.
Monica, you're going to be all right. You really shouldn't worry.
I'm not so sure of that.
What do you mean you're not so sure of what?
I mean, I'm not so sure I'm going to be all right.
Don't be so pessimistic. What then?
Dana told me that if I did give birth prematurely, and the baby happened to be in breech position, then my life could be in danger.
She said that.
Yeah.
Well, breach is always a risk. We know that.
I mean, if I were in the hospital and I could have a C-section, then conditions would be a lot better. I mean, I'd have a lot better chance, but I'm here. I'm really under very primitive conditions. Oh, I've got a ankle. It's God's good grace and your skill.
I'm going to do the very best I can for you. And I know the conditions aren't optimum, but we didn't choose them, you know. They were forced on us, and we just have to try and work within them.
I don't want to die.
You're not going to die. Will you stop saying things like that? Right.
Will you promise me something?
What?
If anything happens, if there ever comes a moment where you have to make a choice between my baby and me, you won't think twice about it, Leslie. You will save the baby. I know I said I didn't want to die, but the baby has to live.
You're being very silly. I refuse to even discuss
I mean this. I mean it. The baby is the most important thing in my life, Leslie. Look, the baby has to live. You have to do whatever you can. Please,
Monica.
Please save that baby.
I want you to stop being dramatic. Now, I am going to deliver a healthy baby, and I am going to have a healthy mother around to care for him. And if I am very, very lucky, I may even survive. Right now, I happen to be a lot more worried about me than I am about you.
Hope you don't have too rough a night, though.
Thanks. I'll talk to you later. Okay, Alan?
Well, I guess Steve told you I've been temporarily assigned to your service.
Yes, he did. I'm glad. I'm used to having a quartermain on my OR staff. Not a male exactly, but I think I can adjust to that.
Well, I'll do my best to replace Monica. I know it's not going to be easy, but I will try.
Good.
All right, take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. Better? That's it. That's it. Better. That's a girl. Good girl. Breathe. That's it. Good. Now listen. The important thing is for you to stay calm and not to worry.
Don't worry. I'm not going to get hysterical.
Good.
Promise.
I may have to do an episiotomy later if we're dealing with a breech birth. Well, of course, we don't have to worry about that right now, do we? We can worry about that later. Yeah, would you get me 1 cc of anesthetic just in case I do have to use it?
Sure, Liz.
Okay. You know, this baby isn't going to weigh any more than 3 or 4 pounds, so hopefully it won't even be a long labor.
It's too early, Leslie.
Monica, just concentrate on your job. Your job right now is to go with the contractions, to remember your breathing, and later on, when I tell you to push. Gail will be your coach, and I sincerely feel that between the 3 of us, we can actually get the Quartermain air out into the world.
I'll be okay. I'll be okay, don't worry.
Of course you will. We are not going to let anything happen to you.
Do you think you'd be okay alone for a minute so I can have a consultation with my colleague here?
I'm fine. I'm fine, really.
You're at that.
Madam?
What is it?
I don't want her to know about it yet. The baby has turned and is in total breech position. And I can't risk turning him with forceps without damage.
I was so afraid of that.
And with the internal damage that Dana says she had, I think we just have to be prepared for anything.
We could just get her to the hospital if the snow would just stop.
It may. And then we would get a break. But if we don't, we have to be prepared to deal with it right here.
I know, I understand that. And of course we will.
There's one other thing.
What?
She asked me if I had to make a choice between her life and the baby's to save the baby.
Leslie, no.
I'm just telling you what she said.
And if we get to that, what will you do?
Well, obviously, I'm going to save them both. I can.
Sandwiches are coming. Wonderful, that's great.
Yes.
Over here.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay.
Respiratory therapy and ER1 stat.
I want a blood glucose electrolyte stat. Now, this is one way of keeping us from worrying about our wives with the phone lines down. About the best way possible, I should think.
Okay. Everything is going along just fine. Monica, Gail's going to give you a relaxant now.
There we go. All right. Enough water?
Thank you, I'm fine. Listen, I really think it's time that we all made some kind of agreement.
What kind of an agreement?
We're all 3 doctors, right? I want us all to be totally, absolutely honest with each other.
Well, of course.
And I mean, as doctors, not one patient and 2 doctors. As doctors, you agree?
Yes, of course.
Totally, absolutely.
Okay. So, as 3 doctors, where do we stand?
Well, as far as the labor is concerned, you certainly know as well as anyone that your contractions are still fairly weak. I think probably it will be a while before the birth because the baby's still in breech position. We know that there's a possibility that the labor can go on for, well, possibly more than a day. And this is something as doctors we have to face, but I think we may well need that much time.
Oh, you mean for, snow to stop, to get,
To get the snowplows through, to get the ambulance here, to get you and the baby to the hospital. Absolutely. But during that time, there's something that's very important to remember. Now, I've been stating a lot of obvious facts here, but I've been leading up to this one thing.
Well, let's have it, Leslie.
We are all going to remain very calm.
Excuse me, Dr. Weber.
Yes, Mrs. Fields, come in.
I thought you might enjoy some hot tea. May I bring it in?
Yes, of course. What a lovely idea.
Why don't you just put it right over here, still next to her? Thank you.
I'm glad you're here, Mrs. Fields, because I was just saying something that really involves you, too. It involves everybody that's in this house. I was saying that it's very important that we all remain very calm. Now, we each one of us have a job to do here, but it's all the same job. It's making sure that this baby gets born. And I am absolutely determined that everything is going to go perfectly.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Now I'm going to have my tea.
I'm going to wash your face, Mrs. Quartermain. Maybe that makes you feel more comfortable.
Leslie, I know you have to keep up a front for Monica, but don't lie to me.
Oh, I would have no intention of lying.
Monica's lost a lot of blood. And there's a chance she won't make it, isn't there?
I refuse to admit that possibility. I refuse.
Leslie, I've got a child.
Fantastic. Carefully. In this way.
It's Ricky. Hello. Oh, great. Give me the main desk. Hello. Jessie.
Oh, wonderful. Leslie, thank God. Where are you? Never mind. Here.
Hello, Leslie. Look, are you all right?
Oh, yes, Randolph, I'm just fine. I'm standing here at Monica's bedside. I have to talk a little bit softly. Can you hear me like this?
Yeah, but perfectly.
Okay, she's in a light sleep, and I don't want to wake her, and I don't want her to hear. But I do want all of you to know what's going on and what we anticipate here.
All right, shoot, let's hear it.
Okay, I'm going to do this fast, just in case we lose the connection. Monica has been in the early stages of labor for several hours. No intense pain yet. The contractions are still irregular, but they're starting to get stronger.
Is she bleeding?
A little, but we're handling it. Now, we're getting set here for a natural childbirth since we don't have any other choice. I think labor will go on for hours yet because the baby's breech.
Well, by then, maybe the snowplows will be out there in an ambulance and get through to you. We'll make it top priority.
Oh, yes, of course, that's our hope. Oh, and naturally, we're going to need an incubator. Gail and I are going to rig up kind of a homemade one here. What else? Oh, blood pressure is holding around 120/82, and her heart is fine.
Leslie.
Yeah.
Alan's here now. He asked me earlier to tell you if I talked to you, and he didn't, that he feels that Monica has to come first.
Rick, please tell him that I am determined to save both his wife and his son.
Look, I'll put Alan on.
Good Lord, Leslie, you can't let Monica die. You've got to promise me that.
Alan,
Leslie? Leslie, hello, are you there?
I just barely made it.
Gone dead again, yeah?
Leslie?
Was it the hospital?
Yes, isn't that wonderful? I actually talked to Alan and Rick and told them how we were doing here, especially how well you were doing. And they're going to get an ambulance out here just as soon as the roads are clear. I feel so good. I know now that we're going to make it. We're all of us going to make it, even me. Okay.
Right, easy.
All right, now we need your help here. You have to take a deep breath. Come on, Monica, deep breath all the way from your diaphragm. That's it, girl. And let it out again. Let it out on one long push. One long push out.
Back. Operator, please. Oh, there's no use. I've got to try.
Oh, would you let me try it for you?
What am I going to do? Dana Hotchkiss, we've got to get her out to the house, Rick.
We called Dana Hotchkiss. She's snowbound, and we're going to have to rely on Leslie, and she is one fine doctor.
Yes, you're right.
With Gail backing her up, there won't be anything humanly possible. It won't be done. Leslie is confident that she can bring your wife and your son through. Alan, just try to relax. This isn't going to help Monica or the emergency situation here at the hospital. All right? Okay. Now, the next thing I think we should do is tell Steve about this. He can help expedite getting an ambulance out there to her.
I won't forget this.
That's all right.
I'll go find Steve.